Hey everyone, welcome back to the Girl of Gen Z podcast. I'm your host Clarissa, and today I have my boyfriend Kieran back on for another episode. I think I decided to call this Chill Chats, and I mean, it's only fitting right now. We kind of call it Coffee Talks because we are drinking coffee, but that's literally every, I want to say, influencer's title for like, let's sit down and chat with the camera, like tea talks or coffee talks.
The name's a work in progress. Definitely. You need to find something more creative than that, but
I like Chill Chats.
That's not creative at all. Like, I'm sure there's many other people who have that as well. Like, you're working on it.
Yes, I'm working on it. So to open up today's episode, we're going to talk to you a little bit about what we're drinking first. And no, it's not alcoholic. There's no Baileys in it. It's just coffee. We blend two beans together.
Grind.
We
just blend one bean.
Okay, yes. And the preferred favorite one is definitely the hazelnut vanilla by Zavida. I think that's the brand from Costco. It's a medium roast, and I
Canadian
love
company.
Light medium roast. Really?
Apparently, it's not a light medium. It's like a darker medium.
No, I said I like light medium.
I know, but like
the roast is medium.
Yeah, but it's a little bit on the darker side. But
No,
it's because
not.
it's flavored.
It's
I read the
definitely
bag. I literally read the bag. But it's flavored, so it's not flavored, but you could very much taste.
And smell.
Yeah, the smell I think is more prudent than the taste of it, because it doesn't taste so much like flavored vanilla and hazelnut and everything like that, but it smells like it right when you're brewing it, like even when you grind it.
Yeah, it smells delicious.
But it's not like a flavored coffee where they literally just taste like hot chocolate.
Right.
From like Home Sense. Those ones are like flavored.
But Home Sense has some really good roasts as well, like the ones
because they're flavored coffee. Like that's what those are.
But there's no calories in them.
No, but it's like they've been tainted kind of thing. Like they're not, this is still like a roast where it's just kind of like infused. You know how wines will be like tropical infusion,
like the one we had yesterday.
There's a difference between like girls night out tropical infusion, which is like juice, versus like a wine that says there's hints of pineapple or something like that. Like that's still a wine, you know what I mean?
So like the Monkey Bay wine we had yesterday, how that one had
that
the
would
tropical
just be
taste.
tropical hints. It's still like a wine though, versus if you bought like girls night out and it's literally just like pomegranate and it's just a juice.
It's like juice, exactly. And then we mix that with another medium roast from President's Choice.
Yeah, this is their caramel one.
I feel like
Gold.
It's so standard, like the tin I've seen so many times in the grocery store growing up and stuff. But that one's delicious as well. Like even before we had mixed it with the hazelnut vanilla,
It's a little bit more
coming over and
expensive.
just
Like
having
we
that
only
one.
buy it on sale, so it's not like
Really?
garbage.
For President's Choice? Is President's Choice known as like an expensive brand?
Well, they're Loblaws, so kind of. It's like the most expensive house brand kind of thing. Like Kirkland, Life brand, like they're kind of cheap because their stores are like fairly affordable. But like Loblaws is kind of like the bougie grocery store.
That makes sense.
So their house line is like the bougie house line.
That makes sense. I didn't really think about it
Like even
that.
all our meat that's like no antibiotics, no blah, 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 that's President's Choice.
Oh.
So they fancy themselves connoisseurs of house branding.
Yes. Anyway, so we both take it the same. I take it a little bit sweeter typically, but we both put the same like add-ins in, that being Splenda and almond milk. And when we can, we get
Cashew milk, is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, we just don't have it right now.
Yeah.
We don't go to the grocery store as much, and it's easier to buy 6 packs of almond milk than one big cashew milk.
Right. Agreed. Well, now that we're done with that coffee talk, the next, I guess, topic, it's not even really a topic, but we just want to start this off with like a lighthearted, fun way, I guess, of you guys just getting to know us better and like our way of thinking and our, I guess, how we are in our relationship as well as by ourselves.
If we were famous, we'd call this a Q&A.
Yes.
But we're asking ourselves the questions because nobody asks us questions.
Yeah, one day. So we came up with 5 questions each. Hopefully they're not super long-winded because me and you can really, really talk.
I feel like a couple of mine might be, but it'll probably be my answer to them that'll be long. Like I feel like you might just say something and then I'll say a paragraph.
You'll like elaborate. So we're gonna ask each other a few questions and just answer them. Simple as that. So did you want to start off with
We should go one for one, I think.
Okay.
Okay, you go first.
So should I read my question to you and you answer for me? Is that how we decided we're gonna do this?
However your question is, we'll decide how to answer it.
Like how it
however it's
reads?
written, yeah.
It's like an ASMR. You're gonna hear me putting down my mug, picking up my notepad, sipping on that coffee. Okay, so
I'm not gonna lie, ASMR is honestly super relaxing.
It is. It's so
I don't
weird.
I hate that I like it, but when people are like,
what's that thing called? That like something you people don't know about you. What's that called?
guilty pleasure?
Yeah, like a guilty pleasure.
I wouldn't actually click an ASMR video, but when someone does it as a joke in the middle of their video, like they'll just like breathe on the mic or something like that, I'm like, oh, that is really nice. But if they're just like talking creepily or like scratching it, I feel like I wouldn't be with that.
Yeah. There was this suggested video, since we're on this topic of ASMR, in my sidebar once, and it was like, I think it was like this Korean lady, like watch her eat a stupid amount of food as an ASMR, and she just had like all this like raw fish and like slimy stuff
With mics like right beside her mouth.
Yeah, and it was like it got like every video she had millions of views.
Oh, 100%.
Like
There's
her channel
people
was just
that are regularly
eating
famous now that are making ASMR channels. Like I think
hers is an
Jasmine
ASMR.
Garcia in LA.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she has an ASMR channel.
That's
just because there's a demand
Could you
for
get
it.
sponsors for that? Like food, I guess.
Yeah, well, you can get sponsors of anything. Sponsored a microphone that's great for ASMR, food, eating
so
it, like
true.
anything. I feel like it's kind of like when you listen to nature sounds. It's like human-made nature sounds. Like me taking a sip and then being like, it probably sounds really nice. Like I'd listen to it. Maybe some people are like, that's weird, but either way.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that lady, I started watching her videos. I would just skip through because like I don't really want to watch 10 minutes of it. But it was just so interesting that like she really emphasizes every noise.
I don't think I would find
She makes.
eating. Drinking I think is okay. It's not a slurp. And then talking like in a whisper voice.
How do
I
you
don't
drink
think I
without
like
a
eating.
slurp?
Like, you know what? It's the end of a drink and you get from a fast food place and it's like just the end of the straw and you're literally just sucking air.
Oh.
That noise,
I
that's
don't like
annoying.
that.
But if it's
Yeah.
like a regular sip, then I think it's fine.
Got it.
All right.
on to our Q&A. So my first question, I don't know if I should, the way I wrote them in order is the way I should ask them.
Yeah, mine's going to be random.
Okay. Let's start with like a fun one, then a more serious one later on. What did you collect as a child?
Everything. Honestly, teddy bears,
Okay, wait.
it started
so
with.
we're deciding for ourselves.
Yeah, because then I'll ask you back. Like you asking me, you just asked me, so
Yeah.
then I'll ask you back
Okay,
after I
okay.
answer.
Okay. So yours was teddy bears?
Like any stuffed animal is what it started with.
So there wasn't a specific brand or store or...
At first, no, but then it got to Webkins because you could like get that code and put them online.
And then play
I
the
feel like
game.
that's so not acceptable that a guy had the. I honestly probably had like 20 Webkins.
I honestly didn't know that many guys that collected Webkins.
No, yes, exactly. Like, and then it got to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards. I have
Totally
still have
suspected that. That's like a normal
bookcases
guy
of
thing.
those. Then Crazy Bones. I still have those. I love that
Crazy
game. I love Crazy
Bones.
Bones. I still have
I
them.
completely forgot about those.
Can we play Crazy Bones one time?
Yeah, I don't even really remember how to play, but I remember
You set up your guys in like
order.
a shape of like, and you then take turns like shooting your guys at the other guys
With your
to
finger,
like
you
knock
flick
them down. You try and knock
flick
the
'em.
other guys down.
But
Yeah.
what was the number significance on them? Remember they all had a number on the back? And
That
it
was-
was
I think
like
that was
a
like how
thing?
rare it was. Like I have some
Yeah.
rare ones.
Yeah, I
And I like
remember.
would trade people for
But
them.
how would you know that they're rare? Like, was there a pamphlet? Because
Yeah,
you can just
they
go
have a
online.
website. Yeah, they're like the aliens. The aliens were the rare ones.
Yeah.
Because there was like the gum stick, and he was like everybody had 20 of him. But then if you got like a rocket ship, those were pretty good. And then the aliens were like the most rare. And I had a couple aliens, and then I had a couple shiny ones. I love Crazy Bones. Like to this day, every time I pick up the collection, I'm like, gotta get rid of some junk. I opened the bag to the rare ones, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
not
let them
these.
go
And then
today.
yeah, I think I want to put them on a shelf or something at some point.
I'd be down with that. That's cool.
Collect after that. After all the cards was over, I don't think anything else since. For the sake of collecting it. Like people give me mint coins, but I don't collect those. Like they just give them to me, and like I have a collection of them. But it's not like I went out of my way to buy the ones that I
Yeah.
like. And I think that's it. What are you? What things did you collect as a child?
I feel like you could guess.
Webkins, like
The
stuffed
one before
animals.
that. Yes.
Oh, Build-A-Bears.
Yes.
How many Build-A-Bears did you have?
Too many to admit. Like my mom
I had
was
probably
like,
3 or 4.
we're not giving any of these away because your dad and I and your grandparents have spent way too much money on you and your sister when it comes to these bears. We probably had like over 20, 30.
Build-A-Bears or
we had this,
outfits?
No, Build-A-Bears. We had this huge chest, like big Rubbermaid like bin thing, and we couldn't get the lid on it. My mom tried. It We had too many. And it would sit outside of my brother's bedroom. So, you know, it was always so nice when someone would come over and they'd walk by all these Build-A-Bears. Probably pretty embarrassing for him.
Between the two of you, you had 20 Build-A-Bears.
My brother had one, but we took it away from him because it had a hockey outfit and our Build-A-Bears needed to be able to play hockey. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so the Build-A-Bears and then Webkins after, but not as many. Still a lot, but not as many.
And now makeup, scrunchies. No, but it's child.
Question is child.
Okay.
I'm not a child anymore.
I'm still a child.
Okay, your question.
If you could relive 1 year of your life, which would it be and why? So I want to say you can't change it, but you can just do it again. Okay. Go ahead.
My grade 11 summer going into grade 12. That was...
It's not a year. That's 2 months.
Okay, but like that year...
So year of grade 11? So September of grade 11 to September of grade 12? Because that was the
last year I danced too. Like not competitively, sorry, with the school because we were at an art school. So yeah, I would say that year, like dance was good and the summer was really fun. And I guess I was in my like first serious relationship, but I wouldn't say that was a highlight to the year. Like that's not what stands out to me.
Having fun during the summer was?
Yes.
Single type fun. But you were in a relationship.
But I wasn't, no.
Partying and such.
Yeah, my social groups were large and my, I guess opportunity to go out
was plentiful.
I worked as a camp leader Monday to Friday and I had like my group of people I worked with at the pool. Then I had my group of people I worked with at camp. Then I had, you know, some school friends and I had one school friend in particular and me and her did literally everything together after I was done my work day at camp. So it was like every weekend there'd be a party somewhere in the city and we would make the drive to it. So that was a pretty fun year. What's yours? Your most memorable? Or you relivable?
I want to say, I don't know what year this came out though, but it's the year that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Because that was the year that
it was grade 6. I think it was my grade 6. And it was just like, if I could go back there now and just have zero responsibility, go play Sandman at the park every single day for like 3 hours, ride our bikes to like Subway or Pizza every day, not care about anything. Then after it got dark, we'd go hang out on Call of Duty for like the next 3 or 4 hours and then go to bed, go to school because we had to, and then repeat that every day. Like literally just only thing you had to do was have fun. And it was the best. And that was the best game that's ever been released.
And was that the year or whatever where your friends and you became very close, or was that way early on?
I think it's like grade 4, 5, and 6 were like pivotal, but that video game made us as close as we are today because it's like if you hang out for someone for a certain amount of time, like you're gonna be close. Like if I had a brother, I would have spent more time with those friends than I did with my brother that lived in my own house because I was at the park for 3 hours and then at home for 3 hours on the video game with all of them. Like you couldn't have hang out more than we did, and we were in school together. Like even if we weren't in the same class, you couldn't have been together with more people longer than we were. And just like that game, just like the competition, like the jokes, like I don't know, just it would make you rage. It would make you like if you got a nuke in that game, which is like a 25 kill streak, like you meant something. Like that was a big deal. So I don't know, just the amount of time and things we committed to that game and part of our life, I would definitely say that year. Okay, your turn.
My question turn. Okay. Who is the first person you call when you're in trouble? Now, when I was trying to think of your answer, I couldn't come up with one. Because, like, I really feel like it depends on the scenario.
I don't think I've ever had to call someone because I'm in trouble. Like, if, like, my car breaks down or something.
Sure.
My mom, I guess. And then she'll say...
But you sound, like, unconfident with that answer. Like, would you figure it out yourself, you mean, until, like,
no, because she has connections with people. It's honestly the only time I've ever had that situation is car trouble, and then she has connections with like mechanics and things like that, so I'll just call her and she'll call somebody and then tell me what to do. But I've never been in like trouble other than a car situation.
What about like advice?
I don't really do that.
I guess because you're the type of person who gives the advice, so you never feel like you need to receive it.
I may not feel like I need to, but if I am receiving it, it's probably from Thomas.
Which is your cousin.
But I wouldn't probably go out of my way to ask it. He'll just start giving it to me, and I'll be like,
so you'll tell him
I'll appreciate it afterwards.
Thomas is Kieran's eldest cousin?
No, but eldest.
To the ones you're most close with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I may not be asking for it, but he'll give it, and then I'll appreciate it afterwards.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say my dad. In every situation, whether it's a car breakdown or like even when I was back at school and I had to bounce an idea around, obviously I would bounce it across you as well. But I don't know, he just gets me thinking in ways that like, I guess I maybe wouldn't have. Like we'd end a call and then he would call back 20 minutes later, but he'd be like, I thought of something else. So I feel like he's just my go-to person in many, many situations.
But are you ever worried about that?
What?
Almost like the reliance on him, like being able to separate that later and being able to kind of figure things out on your own at some point.
I've definitely thought about it.
Too heavily relying on, like, what if you lost his number? Then what do you do?
I would be screwed.
Exactly. So don't you think you should kind of like
you know what I should do? I should get him to teach me more things
instead of doing things for me.
Yeah, like he just, because even when I wanted to like hang things in my room years ago, he like didn't want to do it or didn't want to mark up the walls. Okay, and then this is the problem with me and my sister would rip out posters out of J14 magazine, stick them on the wall, and they'd be crooked and then rip off the paint. My mom would not be happy. So eventually I was like, can I just hang stuff in my room? My dad said no. So I was like, okay, I'll learn to do it by myself. And he was like, nope, like I'll do it. Doesn't even show me how, really. Just like, I know what to use and like how to make it perfect and not to ruin my walls. And I feel like now I'd almost be like, can you show me? And he'd still be like, no, I'll just do it.
So you fully reverse psychology this guy and you didn't realize? Like you said
at the time, yeah, I guess so.
He said no, you can't put up anything in your wall. You said okay, I'll do it by myself. He said okay, I'll do it.
I guess kind of.
That's horrible.
Okay, your question.
What physical feature and what personality feature of mine do you hope our kids have? And then like vice versa.
Oh, that's a heavy question.
I don't think it's that.
Say it again. The physical
feature and a personality / like personal feature.
So do I have to take one from each of us?
No, like I'll say the two I want from you and you'll say the ones you want from me. Like if you could make a child right now, 2 pieces of me and 2 pieces of you, one physical and one personal.
Okay, am I going first or are you going first?
You tell me mine.
That I would
You're building this kid right in front of us right now. You put one of my personality traits and one of my physical traits onto it.
You already know. This is so easy for you to like get though. Your eyes.
Okay.
Obviously, because I've always wanted blue eyes growing up, and I still do. So I don't think that will ever change for my want. And obviously, if they came out with brown eyes, I wouldn't hate them.
Have you ever? I hate you.
But blue eyes.
We need to go again. He doesn't have blue eyes.
Even green, because I find not a lot of people have green eyes.
Have you ever tried those contacts just to see what it would look like?
No, but Erica has, and she looks like a doll. I saw those. Like it's crazy.
Wait, if she has light eyes?
She has brown eyes, but she put in blue contact lenses.
And she looks like a doll. What do you mean, like very good looking or like fake?
Kind of both. I don't know. Like,
I get what
you could tell it looks artificial, like very not real, but it's probably because I haven't grown up my whole life seeing her with blue eyes.
Yeah, like I bet if someone met her right now and she had those lenses in, they wouldn't say you don't look like that.
Yeah. So that would be physical. And then personality trait, definitely funny.
Yeah, I thought those are the two. I knew you would say those 2 things. Yours, I would say your smile or your teeth, kind of just like having a nice smile is hard because like, you can't really change that, and some people don't have it, and that's like I would say mine is on like the spectrum, definitely not high as yours. Like you have just a very nice smile, and then your like work ethic. Or your determination to like actually go into work mode, and then because if we could build a person with that, they'll be pretty successful. Because
you have a really
I don't have
awesome kid,
a hilarious grinder. Because I don't have that, and you do, and you could be more funny.
Okay, my question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Your favorite class that you took in high school?
Okay, I could say hockey, but if we're not going to count hockey as a class, even though it was a class, I would say law with Miss Gentili. Law with said teacher.
You can still say your name.
Okay, well, either way, because she was a really good teacher and I really liked the class. Not just the subject matter, but the way the class, like there were certain times we'd have debates and like you'd be marked on them, and like not just the curriculum, but also how it was presented too, where it was more, it wasn't just like, these are the law facts, do them, blah, blah, blah. Like there was, you had to, well, I think our CPT, which was like your final project, was literally like arguing for a guy who had committed a crime or something like that. You had to present a case for him, kind of like that, like be his lawyer.
I remember you telling me.
And then there was also another one where you had to have a debate, regardless of what. I think she actually played a good little trick, and it was like, these are the scenarios. Pick which one you'd most want to argue for, and she put you in the opposite one. So if you were like a cancer patient got mistreated or whatever in the hospital, that was like, oh, that's an easy one, like I'll pick that one. And there was one guy who like beat his wife, and you put that one at the bottom, like she'd put you on the beating the wife case. So I thought that was really cool because you had to like step out of your comfort zone and really try and win the case without wanting to, which is what a lawyer kind of has to do sometimes. So yeah, I'd say that class.
Yeah, I remember you always really admired her teaching style and the way she
was cool too, like
held
she wasn't
class. It was never
like a
one of the
bad
ones you'd
teacher.
skip.
Yeah,
Not that you'd skip
honestly,
classes,
no.
but like that was one that like, you know, if you had to choose one class to go to for the day, that would be it.
I didn't do that though. I didn't choose one class to go to, but I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying, and I don't remember skipping it much, and like till it got to like the very end of the year, and there wasn't much.
I feel like I almost was a bad influence because you were like your whole high school career, you were like, I never really missed class. I would go even if we weren't really doing anything, and here I was being like, oh, I always signed myself out. When
Yeah,
we
you leave all
like,
the time for no reason. Like, oh, this class, nothing's happening today. I'm gonna go home. Okay.
Yeah,
well, first I didn't have a
rubbed off
car
on him.
or anyone to pick me up, so until I got a car, it was no question. Like I had to stay there for the whole day.
True.
And then when I got a car, I didn't really have classes where I just felt like this is useless. I'm gonna go home now. Other than religion at the time, but that didn't go well.
Yeah, that really didn't. That's another story. Okay, so mine.
Yeah.
I would have said dance up until when I dropped out, which would have been grade 12.
But that's the same as mine. Like it's like a cheat course.
Yeah. But it's kind of hard because Comtech, computer science, I did in grade 11 and in grade 12. But I also really liked media studies in grade 11. Obviously, I just liked that entire field. So any course related that had a decent teacher and the curriculum was good, I enjoyed. So I think computer science, they taught you a lot more. Like you learned animation, you learned how to video edit, which that skill I obviously didn't really need because I already had prior experience. Playing around with InDesign when I was only really familiar with Photoshop. So it exposed me to a lot more and more into the Adobe Creative Cloud world.
This is
so
useful.
Yeah, for sure.
If there was, are you still going?
No, go ahead.
If there was a class that our school didn't have, or that you knew another school had, like you can't make up the class,
Ooh.
but it was a class that you, if you could go back, you wish you could have taken or would have taken, and it would be done well, like run well.
Something to do with fashion, like either like.
Is there schools that have that? A high school fashion course? Maybe an art school.
I want to say, it's along the lines, but I don't know if it's more like a history-based class of it or like physically they teach you how to sew and
like different garments and fabrics
stuff like
and all that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
and talk about the pros and cons.
Because I would honestly probably take that too.
I know, I was just going to say, I feel like in your interests, how they've developed to now, that would have been an awesome course. I remember we had a teacher that tried to make like a fashion club after school and it didn't really fly. And I remember they made an Instagram and they just weren't consistent. And it just kind of was the wrong teacher for it, in my opinion. So that could have went somewhere if they were really serious about it, especially with us being at an art school, but it didn't.
I would, if mine could be run. Okay, that was a good one. I would probably take that class too, but I would take philosophy if it was run well.
You didn't like how it was run?
I didn't take it at our school.
But what did you from your peers? They never said like, "Oh, that's a really good teacher," or like,
I can't remember who the teacher was, but I can't remember almost caring enough at that point, or just being like that. It was philosophy or religion, and religion seems so much easier. Because that's what I hate about school is like it's so important the grade you get rather than what you learn. So it's like take what's easier to get a better mark instead of
Well, you're
taking
interested
what's
in.
harder and spending more time on it, but then you can't dedicate your time to the harder courses. Like that bracket of course, like religion/philosophy was like an extra, like it was a throw-in, like that is on top of your hard courses like law or science or math. So it's like you can't dedicate that much time to them. But if I could have, I would have loved to have taken philosophy and actually dedicated a proper amount of time to that course if there was a good teacher and stuff like that. Because I think if a lot more people were mandated to take philosophy, it would be very beneficial. Like people would just learn to think differently.
From what I've been told, and I'm not going to say the teachers' names, and this isn't my opinion, but our grade 12 year, whoever the philosophy teacher was kind of just thrown into it. It wasn't really like their passion course. But the one that was previous, like when my brother was in school, was a good philosophy teacher. So that really depends too, I feel like.
I feel like they should, if they can't get a good teacher for something, I think they should offer it to someone from that major that just graduated, even if they're not
That's
a teacher
great idea.
certified. Like,
yeah.
For example, my cousin has a major in philosophy or whatever. If they couldn't find a philosophy teacher that year, they should go to like someone like him or someone who just graduated with like honors in philosophy and is like, would you be able to build a curriculum for this year and teach it? Just because they're not teacher certified. Like teacher certified just means like doesn't mean they're specifically skilled for that course. So I think that would be way better. Like just the way the things he knows about philosophy, I bet that philosophy teacher that you're talking about right now didn't even know that stuff.
Yeah. Like even we had a grade 10 science teacher that was grade 10 phys ed teacher, grade 9 phys ed teacher that was thrown into teaching science. Like it just doesn't really make sense.
Who you're talking
yeah,
about too.
It just doesn't really make sense. And I agree with your way of thinking.
Yeah, like offer someone who's not educated to be a teacher, but is educated on the field of the subject matter to teach these students rather than someone who's educated on being a teacher but not educated on the subject matter.
Right.
I find that more effective. That was your question?
Yeah. This whole Q&A could be one episode, man.
Okay, I'll do... If you could collaborate on one project with one person, what would it be, who would it be, and why?
I love this question. I wonder who actually originally thought of it. Do you want me to answer first then?
Yeah, I asked you.
So mine would be to create a talk show with Jennifer Lawrence. And
start like the hosts of it.
Yeah. Like
and create it.
Yes. So we would do everything from like the pre-production to obviously being the host of the show,
getting the guests,
etc. Don't want to have anything to do with the editing or post-production. Maybe just kind of how it's gonna look and feel and the music that's thrown in, but all
not punching in the computer.
Yeah, no, like camera angles and stuff, and like that all we can hire a whole team to do. But I think she's obviously always someone I've looked up to and admire, and she's a huge like entertainer, and obviously she's female. And
so would it kind of be like Ellen or like The View or The Social?
Okay.
Like what kind of...
It would be a mixture, I feel like, because of her humor and personality. It'd be a little bit of like her Ellen, but the actual topics would be like The Social, where it's just like different daily things that they're throwing at you that aren't super political, like they're lighthearted things that are going on in whatever, the world or the GTA if she was living in Toronto at the time.
So would you bring on guests to talk about themselves or to talk about the topics with you?
Topics with us.
So I think you'd have to kind of mix it. Like I think your show would be like you talk about the topics all the time, blah blah. You bring the guests on for that episode to talk about the topics with you, but then you start highlighting them near the end. Like highlight why they came to your show.
Okay. Yeah. That's exactly
there has to be a reason. Like for example, like Chance the Rapper goes on Ellen when he's bringing an album out. So it's like, yeah, great to catch up with Ellen. Like I love being on your show. There needs to be a reason, right? But he's not going to come for free time. Like he's not going to do nothing.
Just like Gigi Gorgeous went on The Social when her book came out.
Yeah, like he'd be interested in his opinion on all your topics you're talking about for that day or like current events and things like that. But then you also kind of start highlighting him at the end. I think that would be a good show.
That'd be sick. If that dream came true, I'd myself.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn. What's a collaboration or product?
So for yours too, I think in this fantasy world you bring equivalent to the table, because in your situation J-Law brings everything to the table. You're just a girl who wants to be on a show with J-Law. But like example, like let's say you were just as good of a host and could provide just the financial, et cetera, et cetera. So like for mine, I would want to make a rap album and documentary about the rap album with J. Cole. So, but I want to be actually like as good of a writer. So just somehow in this world, I'm as good of a lyricist as J. Cole, and we make a collaborative album over like say a year, and that whole year is documented. That would make my whole life.
Yeah, I think that's sick. Like even like imagining seeing that come to fruition. What's the word? Yeah.
Just meeting all the Dreamville guys, like bringing on some Dreamville guys onto the project. Like say there's a song with me, Cole, and Jid, and then just stuff like that. Like I just think that whole experience would be insane. Just learning more about him too. Like half of it would be us chilling, and then half of it would be us recording, and then all of it would be documented.
Agreed.
I would just play that. I would just get up every morning and just watch the documentary again.
This is my dream that's come to life.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. So the next question I have is, what's another career that you would love? And I'm kind of revamping it to, I know there's one path you would take, and if you could just switch it to another one that's realistic, what would it be? And then we can do an unrealistic one as well.
Okay. So if path A was open a gym and run, I think I have too many paths that I couldn't pick one or the other. Like I think it's going to be multiple anyways. Like owning a gym doesn't make you very much money, and I want to do it just to do it. Like I don't plan to have my fortune and like have all my bills paid by my gym. I feel like I just want to have a gym to be like, this is my gym, like this is my home, I built this, everything in here is because I want it to be here, this is set up the way I want, designed, everything, like that's why I want it. And then I don't know, I guess just be a, this is I guess probably project B would be a podcast host, or just have my own show, or be some kind of
entertainer, speaker.
Just a maybe an entertainer, but yeah, just like a public speaker, or I talk to people, like I bring on guests, or I just talk to other people I know, like say my cousins or whatever, and we talk about current sports, or just our living is made up from speaking or having a good conversation. I just enjoy that a lot. So if I couldn't do that path, but I'm hopefully going to be doing all of them. So it's already multiple paths instead of one. So what about you? And then we'll do our unrealistic each.
Okay. Mine's kind of hard because I feel like I convinced myself of one, and then I'm like, I don't know if I love it enough to like make that my path number 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have so many. Like when I was younger, I made a list of all the things I want to like do when I'm older, or like be, and one of them would be a makeup artist. But honestly, I haven't applied makeup on enough people to be like, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing it to myself, but I'm not going to get paid for that. I mean, I guess in a sense on YouTube, but you get my point. And then like interior design, like I enjoy that, but how much, like to what extent do I enjoy that?
I also think once you reach a certain level of success, be it fame or monetary, without fame, you can dabble in so many other things. Like once money is not an option to you, it opens up the entire world, which is the whole point of why everyone wants financial freedom. Like I don't want financial freedom to be rich and be like, haha, I'm rich, you all suck. I want to be able to be free to do whatever I want. Like if I want to go interior design my house with an interior designer and like be a huge part of the process, I want to be able to do that. Kind of like what you're saying. Like I want to be able to dabble in everything and not worry about paying the bills next month.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to be a teacher for the longest time. Then I worked camp for 5 summers. And I was like, there's no way I could do this for an entire year. So I was thinking, maybe do some part-time type daycare situation. So I like get my fix of being with little babies and then do something else, like a mixture. Yeah. So I don't really have like a straight path answer to give you, but those are like my interests that have definitely come across my mind before I even chose to go away to school for television and film production.
You're counting influencer in hosting a show and YouTube, like all as influencer.
I guess.
Because I feel like that would be your path too.
Yeah.
But if you're counting all of that as one, then what you're saying with path 2, if it was completely different, that's what you're saying is like be a interior designer,
I wasn't
or
even including
artist.
Like influencer or anything to do with television and film production. I was like,
you're counting that as path A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not
everything else is path B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah. Okay, so my unrealistic one, I'd say probably be a rapper. Like just if I could just poof right now, like have the lyrical ability or like the flow, like just a song, like the full package of being like a proper good rapper. Like I don't even want to be a chart topper. Like I wouldn't want to be a Drake. I'd want to be a Kendrick or Cole, where it's like the respect of the people in the game. Like if you don't get number one on the chart, but everyone's like, he's good. Like you kind of have more respect that way. I don't care about making a song and then going number one because you knew it would go number one. Like it's a pop song. I would more be like, wow, like that was a crazy song. Like that was really good. So what would
I honestly don't know.
you wouldn't want to be like a world famous dancer?
No, I was even thinking about acting, but then I was like, I don't know if I'd want to be on set for 12 or 13 hours. Like, I like it, but again, do I like it enough to be there for 13 hours? So then part of me wants to be like a worldwide, like Oprah type situation, but then it's like, I'm kind of working towards that now. Like, not to that extent, but like,
Nothing's unrealistic for you.
But you know what I mean?
You can never dream
like,
too big.
I can't think of something unrealistically that I'd want that bad.
I think that's a good thing then, because it means you're doing the right thing. Like if you have unrealistic dreams that are really just eating at your heart and you're not working towards them, that's probably not a good thing. But all the things you're talking about that would be unrealistic are things you're already working towards. Right. So that's probably a good sign.
Right.
Okay. Is it my question?
Yeah.
Because that was yours?
Yeah.
What is something you've always wanted to learn how to do but haven't?
Do you know yours? Because I really have to think.
Mine's kind of repetitive, but I have other ones to replace it because it's too repetitive.
How about something, can I slightly change it?
Okay.
Something that I wish I could get better at instead.
Sure.
Of something that I've never done and
so
like want to do.
Something you wish you could master or would be a master of. Some skill or something.
I feel like you might laugh because I feel like I've never talked about this. Getting better at skating, but on figure skates, like being able to do like turns and jumps and fun stuff like that. Like when I did figure skate, I wasn't half bad, but I had to quit for multiple reasons. And if I hadn't, I feel like it's something I really did enjoy. So if I was able to do fun tricks like that, I would enjoy that.
So if you were kind of in a millionaire situation, you would rent out a rink a couple times with like a figure skating coach and just like learn figure skating in your free time as like a passion project.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, that's a good answer. You would
never guess that,
at first
right?
I was like, really? And then I was like, all right, that's cool, because that's what I was thinking. Like, say you're a millionaire, you just like want to fill your free time. Because some people are just like, I want to start drumming, or like I want to learn how to play the guitar. So they buy someone, a tutor, to come like instruct them all the time. I would say, well, for one, a skill I'd want to master would be writing, like lyrical. But then if I'm not repeating that, I would say like fully be able to meditate, because I can't. Like I can.
That's really hard. That is a good answer.
Yeah, like I can't
to
turn my head off.
Yeah.
But if you could just be a master of it so much that you go to do it and it's just like within seconds you're in meditation.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be completely revolutionary, but it's so difficult, obviously.
That is a good one.
Your turn.
It's the last question. Okay. Gotta clear my voice for the last one.
Is this a really big one?
No, I just had to burp.
Oh.
What's the one thing that our relationship... Sorry, let me rephrase that. What's that one thing about our relationship that makes you the happiest?
That one thing?
Well, that's what... Yeah.
There's probably a couple. The fact that you think I'm so funny. Like, I don't even have to try and you'll laugh. And that's really nice. It's like a big confidence booster. Like, I didn't even say a joke.
It's just like this aroma you give off. Like, you don't even have to, like, it's just so natural.
Yeah, so that I really like, because if I don't even know what it would be like to be with someone who didn't laugh at my jokes all the time. I feel like I would feel like crap all the time. And then probably our ability to go to the gym together and use that as, like, hangout time instead of maybe where another couple... It would be like the guy being like, I'm going to the gym, and she'll be like, okay, I'll see you when you get back. So it's like 2 or 3 hours of every time you go to the gym where you're having to be away from that person, whereas we can spend that time together almost as like spending time together. Mm-hmm. So you can combine your fitness with also like your relationship time, which is efficient. And then Thirdly would probably be our mutual appreciation for food.
Yeah.
Because that kind of just goes hand in hand with everything. If I had someone who didn't like the same foods as me or didn't care about food, they're just like, I don't know, you just when you're eating with someone and you're both just kind of like, this is delicious. Just this look you give each other, like, I'm so moment. Satisfied right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be missing if I didn't have that.
Oh.
What are yours?
Well, the first thing I was gonna say was throughout our relationship and just growing together through it, our just ability to understand one another. And I definitely want to say you have understood me, I want to say, for so much longer, in the sense that, like, when I need to edit a video, like, you fully get it and understand. And I don't know if other people that aren't so much in the, not even to say that you're in the influencer or YouTuber world,
just understand
but just understand it. Like, I feel like someone who really doesn't watch YouTube or doesn't get it would almost get annoyed or fed up with the amount of editing time, or like, you're very into, like, if I get tired or start getting lazy and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna be done the video now, and then you're like, no, like, if you need another night, just like tell me that, like, just communicate and just do what you need to do.
Yeah, like, put out something good that took longer than just being like, oh, I'll just put it out.
Because, like, you're so much more proud of, like, the situation and, like, helping in that sense, and I don't know, we get a lot out of it. So I was gonna say that, but then you said the gym thing, and, like, I agree with that a lot too, because I find that it's nice having that as our hangout time, but we're also like doing something we enjoy. But going along with that too is just doing activities like that in general. Like, you tried doing hot yoga with me, like, at our gym, which was nice. We went on, like, a hike, like, I think it was last summer or something.
Just doing activities.
Just, like, doing, especially active activities. Like, we've talked about doing that, like, obstacle course jungle gymmy thing. Like, I'm not super into the idea, but, like, I would do it because of, like, who you are and, like, how much fun I feel like we would have. So yeah, I think that would be my answer, both of those.
Yeah, like, as much as I like chilling in the house, I feel like doing excursions and just going out and doing activities is a lot of fun, so we need to do that more.
Notice, like, we didn't say, like, travel or anything like that.
You don't need to travel. You need to do things. And if you do travel, go do things. Don't go and look at things. Go and do
Kieran's
things.
biggest advice.
One travel advice right here. Don't look at things. Do things.
That's my last question, so it's your last question now. The last final one.
My last question is, what is a volunteer act you would like to do, or a cause you'd want to be a part of that you haven't? Or maybe something you have been a part of but you'd want to do more.
I feel like mine's not realistic for where we live.
Why can't you travel?
Oh, part of this is okay, cool. Yeah, I guess this would technically count as volunteer. I've always wanted to volunteer in an orphanage, but we don't have those really near us. Because I looked when I was younger.
I'm sure we have orphanages
in
Canada.
But, like, they're not, yeah, in Canada, but not, like, in the GTA. Maybe I'm being super ignorant, because last time I checked was, like, years ago.
Probably an orphanage in the GTA.
It's something I wanted to do growing up, and I feel like I vaguely talked to my mom about it, and she kind of just brushed it off, because she didn't think I was serious, and I was kind of young. But, like, I think, yeah, I would want to do that. So it's not a specific organization, but...
it's a cause.
Yeah. That's my answer. Your turn.
I would want to do something, I think, at this moment with... Well, at first, I'd want to try... I think Habitat for Humanity does it, where you go and build someone's house, like build a house for... They're like small house or something like that, or in like Mexico or something like that, where they need houses built. And I wouldn't want to be like scooping the dirt away to build the house. Like, I'd actually want to build the 2x4s and everything like that, and actually build a house and look at them all, being like, wow, we build these houses, now these people are going to go move in and live in them. I feel like that would be cool. But then after that for a little while, I'd want to do something with animal sanctuary, like bringing them out of places where their homes have been destroyed, or taking care of them while they're in a sanctuary or something like that, like maybe in the rainforest, like saving them or something like that. I just think that'll be cool, like playing with monkeys and not being like, oh, I'm a tourist and these monkeys are in captivation. I'd rather be like, this monkey's home got destroyed because they built a power plant there, and like we're saving them now, and we have them in this like big open space and they can play around and stuff like that, but I can also play with them and like feed them and stuff. I think that would be fun.
That's a good answer. I like that.
That's all I got.
Well, that wraps up the question portion of this episode. We're actually going to cap it off right here, and we're going to do like a part 2 just because, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't know it's going to be this long and extensive, because I know how we both are. But yeah, I really appreciate if you guys listened all the way through and got to know us a little bit better. We will have the social media links in the show summary, and timestamps. Do we even do timestamps for a Q&A?
Yeah, for sure. Why
Okay,
not?
well, we'll have timestamps, and don't forget to hit the 5 stars for this podcast.
If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. It's not my channel, but I appreciate it.